that good? All of the things we're talking about, unless I start talking to me. So, how were we talking about? Yeah. Esperanto, you know, the idea of a universal language, a common language that we could all speak. You know, and it's a very personal thing for me because I have a number of cousins that live in Los Angeles who come across the border in different ways illegally. I'm not afraid of it. It's true. I have an American side, I have a Mexican side, I have a large family on either side. And it's those who learned English, those who understood that it was a necessary aspect of the society that they live in, who have better jobs now. You know, those who speak English can communicate with the owners of the restaurant, and so they're supervising the dishwashers. Those who hold on to their Spanish-only kind of mentality don't advance. So that, along with the plight of the illegal immigrants that come across the border, has really led me to encourage and perpetuate in any way that I can the development of a common language between our two people, rather than a competition between Spanish and English. Maybe there's some world where Esperanto or Spanglish becomes the working reality. But to me, the most significant thing is government, policymakers, academics, they should pursue and push policies that develop a common language. Because you can't expect everybody to learn 10, 20, 30, 40 different languages. When does it stop? You need to be able to understand and speak the different dialects within your community. But at what point do you focus on not learning 160 languages and learning skills like mathematics and science and other things that might be appropriate? So, you know, it's an interesting discussion. But as I was saying earlier, the Tower of Babel story again.
Right. Oh.
So, to me, language is a tool. I'm a monkey trying to communicate with the other monkeys on Earth, whether they're Mexican monkeys or Italian monkeys. And the more common our language can be, the more ability we have to communicate with each other, the more problems we're going to solve. You know, the problems of the oceans across the world being polluted. You know, you might hear somebody in a Japanese newscast on some random satellite station you may be watching. They might be talking about the problems with the world's oceans. I don't speak Japanese. I don't know what that's what they care about. I have to rely on a translator. Speaking of that, you've seen the really, really cool new ear translators? That's going to be awesome, but we'll get to that. So the closer we get to a common language where we can share and understand our common goals, like protecting the world's oceans, the better off we'll be. I always relate back to the story of the Tower of Babel, when humanity and the tribes were reaching golden, divine, godly-like heights because they were, you know, so they thought they were gods. And then the Tower of Babel, the whole story occurs, and you know the story, and the tribes were separated everywhere, and they were all doomed to speak different languages. Why? So that they couldn't achieve those divine heights. Maybe if everybody on the earth spoke the same language, it wouldn't be so nostalgic, it wouldn't be so romantic when you go travel to a different place because it's not as different. But you know what would happen? There'd be less wars, there'd be less problems, there'd be more solutions and less conflict if we all spoke the same language. Why shouldn't we try to achieve that goal, especially in our own country, which is under the same jurisdiction? That's why I'm such a huge advocate of I don't call it English only. That was the biggest mistake ever made by that movement, was to refer to it as English only. They should have referred to it as English first. English first as a priority above and beyond the pursuit of other languages, not some sort of restrictive mechanism that made it sound like they were against Spanish or Chinese or any other language, but that they understood the concept and the priority of having one language at least in our particular jurisdiction, so that we can all solve our problems. But in reality, we all under one jurisdiction. We call it Mother Earth, so why not, right? Maybe I'm crazy like that, but it's true.